Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Spark. Sorry, this one is a little late today. I actually filmed this on Wednesday morning, and you know I like to try and get videos out to you on Wednesdays. This is part two of a page that I started last week. You'll find the link at the end of this video if you want to see part one. And it's inspired by the fox in the book that I read called The Fox and I by Catherine Raven. You can see more about that in a previous video where I did mention the books that I was going to be reading this month. Now, part of this inspiration is from the book with the flowers, the magpies, the fox, but there's also an element that I felt in the almost tarot card stature of this, with the border, with the fox that's going to be prominent in the center. And it's nothing really complicated, but partially just the love of the materials. So with the things that I drew in last week, I'm just putting a watercolor wash behind things now. And then I'm going to do the fox in the center. My inspiration image did have foliage, plants, leaves, flowers drawn into the fox in a really kind of folk art yet graphic style. And I may or may not include some designs on the fox. I just want to see how it feels when I get everything in place. I'm not sure if all of the materials that I used on these flower panels were permanent ink. I may see a little bit of blurring in some of the marker lines, but you know what? It's my art journal, and sometimes these things happen. I liked this teal to set off the magpies, but I'm going to add a little moon glow, which is a delicious Daniel Smith color, in this edge. And if it bleeds, it bleeds. That's fine. I did not wait for the Mayan blue, which is that background teal, also Daniel Smith. I did not wait for it to dry completely. I'm just kind of going for it. Doesn't seem to be bleeding, so it must have been dry enough. Like I said, beautiful colors. A slow pace sometimes to just let watercolor do its thing. So, having a cup of coffee and enjoying the process. So I'm giving you this video in real time in that I am doing the voiceover after the fact, but I'm not speeding up any parts of the process. I wanted to do a few videos when I can like that to show you my process kind of undiluted, kind of, well, literally in real time. I have cut out some dead time while I was waiting for paint to dry, and I've also cut out a few moments when I used my heat gun to dry the paint so I could work on to the next step. I mean, the video right now is standing at about 12 minutes long, so I've maybe cut out, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Nothing that is going to drastically change, your experience of this. Right now I'm sketching the fox in pencil. I know that's difficult to see, but I am going to ink it and then add watercolor to it. I prefer to get things sketched in pencil first, so I make sure I have the proportions right. So I make sure that everything fits in the space that I've allotted. His mouth, his snout was a little, I wanted to get it right because that was a really expressive part of his face. So a little erasing and a little fixing there. But again, like I said with the watercolors, part of this is about enjoying the process. This isn't about trying to make everything absolutely perfect. This is for me, and yes, I'm sharing it with you, but it's my art journal. It's the love of creating. Now, if you love what you see, what I am creating, I do invite you to Subscribe to the channel, to give this video a thumbs up, even go as far as to hit the notification bell if you don't want to miss any future content. I will say that I do try and post these weekly sparks on Wednesdays, and if time and life gets really busy, I might miss a week or so, but I've been pretty consistent for the last 5 years. Hard to believe, 5 years. It's passed by pretty quickly. But I love what I'm doing, and I'm happy to share it. And if I can inspire somebody to pick up a pencil, to pick up a marker, and play a little bit in their art journal, well, I think that's wonderful, because I think the process is so grounding to me. It's soothing to me, but it's also exhilarating to me. It can change day to day as to the benefits that I get from this practice. But it definitely is a practice. It's something that I do, if not every day, for sure every week. I would love to hear in the comments below about your art journaling practice. Do you doodle? Do you doodle when you're on the phone? Do you have a junk journal or some kind of smash book? Do you even bullet journal your weekly to-do lists and maybe add some stickers or some washi tape or throw some creativity in decorating your bullet journal? I mean, these are all outlets that I think can make the mundane more exciting, but keep you in touch with your creative self. And I mean, studies talk about the health benefits of that. I'm reading a fantastic book about why we need to make art. I'll keep you posted on that as I get further in. I think I might just do the plain watercolor on the fox. This color that I'm using is a Daniel Smith color. It's called Garnet. I think this is Garnet. I don't have my paint tray in front of me as I'm doing this voiceover, but it's such the perfect fox color. And I like this really warm, rusty orange color against the teal above, the blue in the background, the greens of the leaves. Yeah, I'm just happy with it. I might streak in a few other watercolor accents to give it some depth, but I'm not going to do the designs that were in my inspiration. I'm happy with how it's turning out as is. I'm just going to finish this off in the bottom of the border with a quote from The Little Prince, which featured prominently in the book The Fox and I. I mean, she was a human talking with a fox, which is definitely a parallel that runs through The Little Prince. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. And so with that, this page is finished, and I thank you for tuning in, and I invite you back next week on Wednesday for another episode of Weekly Spark. If you're looking for more content, there are plenty of previous episodes of Weekly Spark to entice you and hopefully to inspire you to take it to the page in your art journal. Thanks again. See you soon.